Hello everybody, it is Ashley Fields with Yard to Roast. I am running late today. I had an MDO delivery and Brian, the guy who always delivers out here, just left. He's not even pulled away yet. So I hope everybody is doing well. I know I'm running a little bit late. Thank y'all so much for bearing with me. I got a phone call at 12:30 saying that they were on their way with MDO, but they had to make one stop before me. So it was just kind of, a wrench got thrown in the plans, so we had to come on a little bit later than normal, but we're here and we're gonna get it done. Hey Carla, how are you doing, hun? Let me see, I need to share this. There we go. Okay. Y'all, I want to show y'all, we're going to do our Shamrock Gnome with the rainbow hat today. Hey, Victoria, how are you? And then we're also doing our Shamrock, right? So I thought we would do a plain one. We could always do a plain Shamrock, right? But who likes plain? I mean, plain's very boring. So I did a couple of different options. So this one is a Christmas green background with lime green polka dots. I don't know what y'all think. If y'all want the blank that I have to be a plain Jane one, we can do plain Jane. Or, we could do one a little bit funner. Move that out of the way. I also started one that I actually painted this one lime green in the background and did a little Christmas green, what's it called? Plaid on here. And so I did put the black around the outside so I could show y'all how to come in and do the white. But y'all let me know. We're going to work on our Shamrock Gnome for a little bit. Y'all let me know how you want to do the Shamrock blank. Do you want to keep it plain Jane with just a little perimeter shading and some highlights? Or would you rather do a decorative one like plaid or polka dot? So let me know what you guys think, plaid, polka dot, or plain. And we'll work on our Shamrock Gnome for a few minutes and get some shading on there. And then when we're waiting on it to dry, we'll come back and do our Shamrock. So Victoria says, I love patterns. I know, y'all. Well, I think by now, a lot of you guys have been following for a while, right? So y'all kind of know my painting style. Y'all know the basics of kind of how I do things. So I thought, well, plain, everybody can do plain. That's easy. But, patterned are always so much more fun. Hey, Donna. Hey, Zelma, Pam, Dolores. How are y'all? Let's see. Zelma says she made another order today. I did see that come in, Zelma. That's awesome. Dolores says, I like the gnome for St. Patrick's. Yes, me too. Absolutely love it. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get some shading on here. I was actually working on painting some of these last week to sell at our store. And so once I came through and I base coated, I went to go move this guy, but before I base coated, I accidentally threw a little shading on the hands. My bad. But when you're kind of moving in an assembly line style, you just keep moving. And then before I realized it, I was like, oh, I need to move that and save it for my live. Okay, guys, I'm going to start with a little bit of beard blue on our beard. I think beard blue is number 3, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Pam, how are you doing, babe? A little bit of beard blue. Y'all, this one is a 1/2-inch flat tip brush. This is a real old funky one, but hey, the older and the funkier, sometimes the better, if you ask me. So we just finally got some MDO in. I was super excited about that. So obviously when they called me at 12:30 and said, hey, we're gonna head out there, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna tell them no. So I had to go live a little later today, but I'm glad y'all are still here hanging out with me. Y'all, whatever reason, I don't know, I've had the shakes a little bit today. So hopefully I can get it in gear. Hey Joyce, babe, how are you? Just adding a little bit. I love this pattern. I think it comes out so cute. If you are not a fan of the rainbow hat, I did also post photos of gold and green stripes. And if somebody will remind me, I will show y'all the gold paint that I bought. You can get it at Hobby Lobby or Amazon. But gold paint, you definitely gotta, if you're looking for a true gold, you need to get you a metallic paint. So just kind of come in, do a couple little, alrighty. Did you eat lunch? Yes, I did today. I didn't eat breakfast. And then at 11 o'clock, I was starving. I was like, why am I so hungry? Well, I had to go get me a early lunch because I did skip breakfast. I almost considered going to make another pot of coffee because I don't know why. More coffee sounds really good. But I love me some coffee. Alrighty, just kind of rinse out that brush a little bit. I think we'll go ahead and do green and then we'll move on to the hat. What I'm gonna do is get all the shading done on my gnome, and then we will work on our shamrock a little bit and try to let this dry a little bit. And then we're gonna come back and do the outlining on the gnome. So just while I'm sitting here chit-chatting with you guys, I started with 2 coats of white, and then I came in and did Christmas green. You could also substitute for lime green if you know, you feel like this is maybe too much Christmas green for you. But then obviously on my hat, I just kind of came in with those lighter shade colors. And that's really about it as far as what I did prior to coming on live. Let me fix this. I don't like, there we go. Okay, come in, I'm just gonna give it a little bit down here. A couple little marks. Come in around my cuff and around my arm. I don't know that I'm liking this brush so much. I feel like I might want to put this one up and get a different one. I don't quite like the, it's kind of giving me a sloppy edge to it, and that is not my favorite. We'll make it work. So Pam says she did hers in golden green. Awesome, Pam, I love that. Debbie says, I bought the last ones on Amazon. Yes, y'all, they have that paint in, let me just grab it right quick. In, you could get it like silver, gold, any of that. It is Deco Art, Americana Decor, and it is, it's just gold. Let me open it and show it to y'all too. If you're new to using this paint, it's kind of streaky when you go to paint it on. I just kind of roll with it, you know, and let it be. But there is your gold. It is gold, y'all. And I got this at Hobby Lobby. It is interior and exterior. So that's the only reason I'm using it, because I can put it on stuff to go outside. So just so you guys know, Hobby Lobby, Amazon, y'all find it all over there. Hey, Terry. Hey, Tanae. Okay, guys, on this hat, don't do what I did. I painted this pattern. I painted like 10 of these, right, to sell. And I came and I did my shading along the top line, right? Which it was fine on the red and the orange and the yellow and the green. But then I got to the blue, and when I was doing that, it kind of ended up having shading all over the place, and it didn't look very uniform. I ended up repainting the hats back to white and re-base coating them to move my shading line to the bottom because it just looked a lot better. So if you are painting this pattern and you're wanting to do the rainbow, come in with that shading line across the bottom. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try a different brush. So as far as green goes, that's it. I just shaded with a little bit of dark green. Let's see, Pam says, I'm thinking about putting some glitter on the gold. That would be really cute. Really, really cute. Make sure everything's really, really dry beforehand, because glitter does like to stick, y'all. Okay, now we're just gonna kind of, really the only thing I have left to shade on here, obviously, is all the little colors on my hat. So let's work on those right quick. On yellow, I'm obviously using shading yellow. See if I can find a brush that's got a little bit of cleaner edge to it. I like that one. Okay, we'll use this brush. Little shading yellow. Wash my brush out. This is kind of one of those, whenever you are shading on the hat, you really spend more time washing your brush than you do actually shading. A little bit of shading orange on my orange. It's like a tiny little swoop. Hey Kathy babe, how are you? Hope you're doing good. Y'all, the weather has just been beautiful. I have been enjoying it. I don't recall if it was last year or the year before, but it was obviously before my build out was done out here. And in January and February, I kept trying to paint and it was just not working. It was just way too cold and wet. We had a lot of rain and a lot of really cold days. And so I've been really thankful this January and, you know, coming into February, we've had a pretty mild winter so far. So I've really enjoyed that. Zelma says, do you just wash your brushes in plain water during the painting and after you're done, you wash them with the other stuff? Yes, ma'am, that is correct. In fact, I washed all of my brushes today because if you really want to know the truth, they kind of might sit in my water for like a whole week before I wash them. Now, I do wash the brush out. So if I'm just painting during the day and I'm not on a live, every time I use a brush and I'm done with that color, I go to my sink and I get all the paint out of my brush. So once I'm done getting all the paint out, then I'll put my brush in I have like a 2.5 gallon bucket of water. That way all of my brushes are floating and not sitting on the bottom because that would bend my bristles. But yeah, sometimes honestly, they will sit in that bucket for like a week, maybe more. I don't know. That's why a lot of my handles don't have the, you know, original, I guess, kind of plastic lining on them. It's because I leave them in the water a little too long. Don't do what I do. Wash them when you're done. Prolong the life of your brush. All right. Sorry, y'all. I'm just sitting here chit-chatting. On that blue, this is a medium blue base, and I shaded it with brilliant blue. All right, now we got purple, pink, and a little bit of red. So purple, obviously, I am using shading purple. Don't think I had quite enough in that brush. I'm gonna come back over and give it a little bit more. Okay, wash my brush. And then we need a little shading pink. And then a little bit of shading red. And this guy will start coming together. Hey Patty, how are you doing, babe? Shading red. That one is really separated. Some of these I was using earlier because I was painting a little bit today. So some of them are already mixed up and other ones are kind of separated because I haven't used them. Just a little bit there. And as far as shading goes, guys, that's it. That's all I'm doing. So each color of your rainbow, I just match the shading tone to the base tone. That's it. And then obviously we got a little bit of beard blue on our white and dark green on our green. I'm gonna set this aside for a few minutes and let's see if we can get it to dry a little bit. I'll probably still have to blow dry it, but that's okay, we'll make do. Okay, now, some of y'all weren't here at the beginning. I wanted to show y'all, I have one shamrock to paint, okay, to paint with you guys. But I thought, okay, we could paint it very plain, which is just like the shamrock we just did on our gnome, which, you know, a little bit of perimeter shading with dark green and a little white highlights and keep it at that. But I wanted to also show you some patterned options. So this one is just a dark green base, and I did lime green polka dots, and then did a black and white border. This one was a lime green base with Christmas green plaid, and then obviously I did a black border, but I did not put the white on here because I wanted to be able to do that with you guys. So on this one, what would y'all prefer to see? Plain or a pattern, or what are you guys thinking? Hey Jackie, how are you? Thank you, Patty. You're so sweet. I'm not sure what y'all want to see. Do y'all want me to keep it plain? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to let me know how y'all want me to paint this one. And in the meantime, I'm gonna do a little bit of white on here and show you guys how I did the border on here. I'm just using a little 2-ounce lid right here. I don't want any water added to this paint, so I wanted to keep it a little bit thicker. And I did try to use a brush that's more softer, right? I have some brushes that are a lot stiffer, and I have some that are a little softer. I'm just using a little bit of a softer one. This is gonna be probably about a 1/2 inch or a number 12, maybe a number 14. Depending on what it is. So Debbie says plaid with black and white border. All right, well, then I'm gonna hold off on that for a second. Okay, plaid. Okay, we'll do plaid. I wanna go ahead and get the plaid on here and let it start drying, and then we'll do the white border so you guys can see what that's supposed to look like. So obviously, a little bit of tape. This one, it doesn't say the size. I'm gonna say this is probably 1.25 to 1.5 inches. And when I taped it, I kind of went from corner to corner where it's almost like that heart shape. I tried to kind of keep it in between there as my center. Because really this is going to end up coming out as a diagonal plaid as opposed to, you know, like horizontal and vertical. So I start with that one piece down, and the next piece is just my spacer. Come back across, tape my next piece. One thing about plaid, I love doing plaid, so y'all know that. I've done a ton of plaid tutorials. But one thing about this tape is just make sure it's pressed down really, really well, or that paint is going to bleed underneath the tape when you're picking it up. And that is a very frustrating thing. So press it down really, really well. A little bit more. All right. Now, of course I don't have my baby wipes. Let me grab my baby wipes. I'm doing a baby wipe on here. And that's what's going to kind of keep it really light and streaky. If you look up close, you see how that plaid is really light and streaky? I like that look. So that's why I'm doing the baby wipe. If you prefer your plaid to be a little thicker or darker, use a chip brush. Now I need lime green. I have not done the plaid with the Christmas green background. Obviously, I only have one with the lime green. So I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but we're going to figure it out together. It may look good, it may not. Who knows? I'm going to go ahead and put this directly on here. I don't have much on here because really a lot of this is going to end up coming right back off into my wet wipe. I might see that. It's got a darker background, obviously, so it might take a little bit more than what I was able to really kind of get away with on the lime green background. So I'm really barely pressing down. I am trying to make sure that all of my strokes are in the same direction. They're parallel with my tape. You could also, if you wanted to do it the other way, you could do it where they're perpendicular with your tape. But I prefer my lines to be parallel with it. I'm really just kind of grabbing up that paint and pulling it across as gently as I can. Because I want, since you've got that darker background, you know, I'm wanting to obviously be able to see this paint. So, trying to be real gentle. Let's see what this is going to look like. We might like it, we might not. We'll find out. I got a little bleeding. Ah, I hate that. I thought I pressed down that tape well enough, but guess I didn't. All right, there's your start. You can even leave it like this. I think that's really cute. I like that. Let me grab this and blow dry it just for maybe 15, 20 seconds, and then we'll do our other direction. Hey Mom, how are you? We're doing some fun shamrocks. We do it a little different. Since we are using the baby wipe and not a brush, this dries really, really fast. So now I'm gonna start taping, obviously my opposite direction, starting in the same kind of spot, starting right in the middle. Press it down. I usually use Amazon painter's tape, and this one is a 3M brand. It sticks really, really well. So I have a lot harder time of trying to salvage these pieces to reuse them, because this is some really sticky tape. Pick up your trash piece, move it to your other side. Really, this is just kind of your gauge to make sure that all of your stripes are the same width apart. Trying to just press that tape down really well. I don't want that bleeding underneath there like I just got. Let's get a little bit more. Take off that trash piece. Okay, same exact wet wipe, using the same one. Taking that lime green right on top. And again, I'm just lightly and very gently pulling that paint across with my wet wipe. I want it to be almost like a sheer kind of look to it, but I still want to be able to see that color. There we go. Okay, a little more. Get a little bit of paint here. Okay. Take your tape off. Ah, y'all, I don't know why it's doing that. Why are you bleeding? I know I pressed it down really well. I'm not sure, but I got a little bit of bleeding underneath there. Okay. There is your plaid with a Christmas green background and lime green done on top. Hey Cheryl, hey Melly, how are you guys doing? Okay, let me hit it with the blow dryer for like another 5 seconds. Sorry y'all, it's gonna be a blow dryer kind of day. And I'm gonna show y'all how I did the outside kind of perimeter on here. If you are good about keeping your strokes the same width, then you could skip this step. Me, I'm not always the best about keeping my strokes the same width apart. So I actually grabbed a brush. This is a number 12 Royal soft grit brush. And I'm gonna grab some black. And it's almost like I'm gonna shade the outside line, but really the shading line is just so that I make sure that my perimeter black is all the same width. To me, that's easier to do if I'm using a shader brush, or I call it a shader. Y'all know a shader is really what our reference is to a flat tip or a wash brush. So this part doesn't have to be pretty because I'm literally gonna come right back in and paint right back over it. This is just kind of giving yourself those parameters that you need to stay inside of when you are coming in here with your script liner. Again, those of you who can keep a straight line and keep it thick, you're good. So I know it looks ugly, but I'm literally about to paint right back over it. The only reason I did that is to give myself kind of an outline of where I need to stay inside of. So let's see, Donna says, love it. Thank you, Donna. Danae, cute. Mary looks so good. Thank y'all so much. Show us your hop letters behind you. I will. Give me just a minute. Let me finish this and I'll show that. I was working on that. I know my tutorial for that is not, I think, for a couple of weeks, but I just finished that up today. I thought it was cute. So I actually put it behind me so I could remember to show you guys. Hi, Nina. How are you? Nina says, I use an old credit card with painter's tape on the end to make sure my tape is sealed good. Nina, I love that. That is such a great idea. Thank you for sharing that. I think I need to do that. Really good idea. All right, y'all, I'm literally coming right back over top of that black shading. So you remember I told you it really doesn't matter what it looks like because we're going to cover it anyways. Coming right back over top of that with my script liner. I obviously want my border to be a good stark black. And so for that, I need to be using my script liner. Okay. This black does have a little bit of water added to it. When I say a little bit, because it is on my script liner, I'm talking really about probably 15 to 20%. Maybe 10 to 15% water. It is going to be a lot. I honestly do put a lot of water in whenever I am doing script liner work. That is because my script liner is very old and very worn in. And I find that I have very fluid strokes if I have more water inside of my paint. And I'm somebody who wants to have very fluid strokes. All right, so kind of coming in here, almost done. Okay, so there is your look so far. Now this actual one, I'm not going to be able to finish right now because that black is really, it is really, really, really wet. But I'm going to do the white on this plaid one. So these plaids look very similar. This one was done with the lime green background with Christmas green on top. This one was done with Christmas green background with lime green on top. So super, super similar, but obviously just a little bit different. Okay, so now on to this. When I was coming in and doing my white, like on this one, I'm really just using a flat tip brush again and coming in with white paint. This white has no water added to it. You will definitely want it to be a little bit thicker. So the width of this brush is going to be the width of all of my white marks. So I'm really just kind of coming onto here and backing up to that black line. And that's kind of gives me the direction for where I'm trying to go. If you notice, these are not perfectly, separate or perfectly spaced. This is hand painting. It's not supposed to be perfect, y'all. You just get as close as you can. I'm really just kind of eyeballing. I'm trying to just have the same distance between each one. But I can tell you, when you get into these dips, it's a little harder to do because your lines kind of start to get a little funky. So I almost try to stay outside of those dips and not have to go directly on top of them if possible. I wasn't even paying attention trying to make sure I'm staying in camera frame. And I'm just loading that brush every single time so that I know that that white that I'm putting down is as thick as I can get it. And that way it won't be see-through. I hope this one lines up as well as the other one did when I get down here to the bottom. So one thing about this is kind of coming into this stem, it can make it a little awkward. I want to say I did it just like this and kind of stopped Didn't take it all the way across. See, that one's done at an angle, so it looks a little funky. I don't like that. And I think I just came in down here and boop, call it a day. Ta-da! There you go, nice and easy. This is probably 1/2 inch flat brush. And I really just kind of came in with that white and tried to stay about the same distance apart. As you can see, y'all, it ain't perfect. It don't have to be. But there's a couple of different really cute ways you can turn an $8 blank into something really fun and whimsical. So for your shamrocks, that's it for today on those. When this one dries, guys, I will get a photo of all 3 of these together and get it posted for you guys. I'll also put it on the listing on our website at Yoder Us, where you can purchase these blanks. That way you could take a look at it and, you know, decide what colors you want to go with. All right, let me move some of this junk out of my way so we can do our gnome, or finish our gnome. We have it shaded. All it needs is some outlining. You know, I think we need just a little bit of blow dry on the hat. I think the rest is gonna be fine. Thank you, Patty. Let's see, Donna says, when you shade stripes, do you shade the bottom or the top? I shaded the bottom. Great question. Earlier when I was shading this, I was explaining why I shaded the bottom. Because if you were to shade the top, by the time you get to your blue layer, purple and pink and red, you no longer have that kind of rainbow effect because your lines were kind of going all over the place. So I actually did that last week, and I went back and repainted it to get my shading line on the bottom, and it looked 10 times better. Started with my beard. Because it is shaded in beard blue, I'm actually going to outline in navy blue. Anytime I am doing most of the gnomes that we do, you really have 3 different outline colors. I'm going to outline my beard with navy, I'm going to outline the skin tones with shading red, and all else will be outlined in black. And what that really does, honestly, is just kind of helps bring your piece to life, and it really helps it to pop. So this is my Royal Gold Script Liner number 4. The same raggedy brush y'all see me use all the time. Y'all know it's my favorite. And I'm just really following along those lines that are etched on there for me. No guesswork involved. Come down here. I don't know why I have the shakes a little bit today. I think it's because I had a soda, and I'm not a really big soda drinker. Maybe this is why I shouldn't have had any, y'all. Because my hand is just kind of unsteady. We're gonna work through it though, make the best out of it. Good thing too is this is paint. So if I've got some kind of crooked lines or jaggedy lines because my hand wasn't wanting to really cooperate, I could always come back and touch that up later. It's the nice thing about paint. Super easy to fix. Okay, come over top. Then come over here, finish this. Same thing here. And here. Sorry y'all, I know I get a little quiet sometimes when I start trying to outline. Okay, little navy blue on the beard. Nina says, love it. Thank you, Nina. Hey, Dee. Hey, Joyce. How are y'all? All right, so navy is done. I can cap it. Now we're going to do, trying to think. I'm going to do black next. Now, I'm almost out of black, so I've got to kind of get some mixed, meaning I got to get a lot of water thrown in here and mixed in. I like my black really watered down. I honestly might have put a little too much paint in here. Might have to dump a little bit out. I honestly keep adding water until that paint is dripping off of my brush. For me, I get really long fluid strokes when my paint's almost dripping. I can definitely tell it's still a little thick. Take a little excess out of there so I can add some more water because I didn't leave enough space for water, y'all. Just trying to kind of get this the right consistency that I like. My daughter's school alarm is on my phone. Totally forgot about that. Still too thick, a little bit more. Might just have to play with it and see if it's kind of there. I think it might need a little more water, but we shall see. Kind of coming over here. Let me move this. Come in there and tidy up the corner of your shoes or the top of your shoes. Get a little bit on the sides. Push it down. Do our shamrock. Y'all, I have a question. I don't know if anybody can answer for me. Why are some of the shamrocks that you see in St. Patrick's decorations like a 3-leaf clover, and why are some of them a 4-leaf clover? Is there one that is more, I guess, correct for St. Patrick's Day, or how does that work? I was thinking about that earlier, and I really have no idea, but you do see it both ways. I'm not really sure which way is the right way. Okay, a little bit around our shamrock. And do a little bit around our cuffs. Same thing over here. All right, now we're gonna come up here, we'll touch up our hat. And I don't know if anybody else has seen this. We switched black paints and switched to a totally different brand. I like the black a lot better. It definitely is more consistent. It glides. It obviously doesn't come in looking blue like our old one was starting to do. But one thing I have noticed is I can always see the strokes. It almost looks like a different color whenever I come in like on something I base coated black and then I'm using black on my script liner. I can see those strokes even when it's dry. So I've been kind of coming in, like when I've been painting these to sell, I've been really bringing the script liner and almost just repainting the hat black so that all of that hat's gonna be one color and I'm not gonna see any of those strokes. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'm curious if anybody else has noticed that, or it might be the fact that I put my new brand of paint in the same squirt bottles as all of my old brand, and it might be a mixture of the two, and that might be why I'm seeing a lot of almost like a discoloration sometimes. I don't know how to explain it, but it's been a little funky. So that's kind of why y'all just seen me come back over there. Y'all, my lines are just really thick, and that's because I'm shaking really bad. So the only way I can kind of lay that brush down and go straight is to lay it all the way down. So these lines are a little thicker than I would traditionally want, but I'm trying to keep it moving. So let's see. Mary says, all I know is the 4-leaf clover is supposed to be good luck. And see, I knew that, but is there one that's more representative, or one that's supposed to be representative of St. Patrick's Day over the other? I'm not sure. All right, there is your black outline. I'm gonna put the cat back on my black. I'm done with my black. Now I need to get a little bit of shading red for my skin tone. I don't put black on my skin tone because it's just a little bit too harsh. So I use shading red. If you think shading red is too dark, you could always take the shading flesh. I don't know why my hand is doing this. It's driving me crazy. Take the shading flesh and outline it with a script liner. And then it'll still help it to look outlined and finished. It just won't be as dark. I got some wobbly lines. Switch over, do this hand. Alrighty. Now, as far as outline goes, I'm completely done. It just needs a little bit of white highlights, and then we will be good to go. We'll be all finished. Nina says, what brand of paint do you use? Nina, we use Clark and Kensington. It is an Ace Hardware brand. Okay, I think the only thing, let me see if I don't know if this hat can get blow dried right now, y'all, because it's really wet, but I need to put a little bit of white highlights on my hat, so I want to see, give me a couple, let's see if we can get it to dry just a little bit. Joyce says, the 3 leaves of a shamrock are also said to stand for faith, hope, and love. The 4th leaf is where we get the luck from. So the 4-leaf clover or lucky clover is an uncommon variation of the 3-leaf clover and widely considered to be a symbol of good luck. Well, thank you, Joyce. I love learning something new every day. I did not know all of that. I'm really just trying to get my hat kind of dry enough to get a little bit of highlights on it. I'm not really worried about the rest because I'm not going over top of the rest of it. I'm causing some heat bubbles to kind of come in there, so I'm gonna leave it alone. All right, back to our script liner and a little bit of white paint. Y'all, look at this. I know I've showed y'all this before, but see how it's dripping? That's how I like my white paint to be when I'm doing highlights. That way they're not too thick and your brush can kind of move a little lighter handed. So come down, I put a little bit on my shoes, a little bit around here. Okay. My clover, kind of come in. I kind of lightly try to keep it wispy. I don't mind if my line breaks up a little bit. That doesn't bother me. I'm just trying to get it real wispy in there. Come in here, do just a little touch. Y'all, this hat's really wet. Okay, I got some of it blow dried, so there's some black coming in there. Come back. It almost looks like a gray. And then Now on my hat, just a little bit. I'm gonna turn it to the side if y'all don't mind. Just a little. Oh. I didn't realize my brush has a lot of black in it, so that's coming off like a gray. Let me wash this. I definitely don't want black inside of my white. That's not what I'm going for. And there you go. That is it. There is your Shamrock Gnome finished look. So on him, I did 2 coats of white to start with. The only reason I do 2 coats is because I use a roller to prime my pieces, and the roller does not put as much on there for you. And then I came in and I base coated with Christmas green, black, our flesh tone, obviously red, light orange, light yellow, Christmas green, medium blue, light purple, light pink, and a little red. And then I just came in with the corresponding shading colors. Now, as far as outline goes, the beard we outlined with navy blue. The skin tone, flesh tones, we outlined with shading red, and all else was outlined with black. So there is your finished look for your rainbow Shamrock Gnome. Those of you that weren't here at the beginning, we also worked on some patterned Shamrocks, a couple of ideas here. You know, you can honestly make these as simple and easy. If you wanted, obviously, you could just do a plain green with a little bit of dark green shading and call it a day. Or, you know, you can make it fun and do some patterns. Let me move this because I'm afraid I will mess that up. But I wanted to show you all this. I'm not painting this on live, I think for a couple of weeks. But let me see if I can turn my camera. I think I can turn my camera. Boom. Be a little better. Okay. We will be painting this one in a few weeks. I hope that's right. Is that right now? I don't know. Just still look backwards. I just kind of stuck with some gray tones. Obviously, you could really dress this up and really do any kind of tones you want on it. But I liked the gray. I thought the gray was really, really cute. So I did post a photo of this one on our website at yoderest.com underneath that blank. So you could check it out there. Other than that, the only photo you guys have not been able to get is obviously your Shamrocks. As soon as the Shamrock that we painted together is dry, I'll get my white on here, and then I'll get a photo of all of these together and get that posted for you guys as well. But thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Let's see, Debbie says, love the gray. Thank you, Debbie. Joyce, love it. Thank you. Zelma, love it on the hop. Thank you so much. Carla, looks good. Thank you guys. Y'all are so sweet. Well, I appreciate y'all hanging in with me today. My apologies that I was late, but I'm glad y'all were able to make it nonetheless. If any questions pop up, obviously let me know. I'm happy to help. And until next time, I know Mary's gonna be live, I think tomorrow and Thursday. I wanna say she's doing the pot of gold tomorrow. And Thursday might be the triple pattern bunny, if I'm not mistaken. Not 100% sure. But it is posted at the top of our page and is listed in our. Other than that, I know I'll be live twice next week, so you guys will see me again soon. But thank y'all so much for hanging out. Everybody, y'all enjoy the rest of your week. Let's see, Nina says, your clothes look like mine when I had my ceramics studio, casting molds and painting. LOL. Yes. Yes, girl, this is 24/7 all the time. Honestly, I use my clothes instead of a rag half the time. So, you know, most people might have a rag or a paper towel by, but I just kind of, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming in and hanging out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.